Well, hello there, folks. This is just me ranting for the sake of it, because now and again I just like to rant, and I've had nothing to rant about today. Rugby league, I've told you before I like it. I like it a lot. I've not got millions of people on here that are watching rugby league, so I know not many will see this. In time I might do it again. This has been bothering me for a while. I listen to a lot of rugby league. I think a lot of the commentary is amateurish and crap. It's a shame. Some of the pundits are brilliant. Some really make us look like a really poor northern game with poor northerners who don't know what they're talking about. But over the last few years now, we're getting more and more sayings in the game that absolutely do my head in. And I mean, do my head in. Some of them are going into other games now throughout Great Britain, but they're all started in rugby league. I'll go through them quickly with you, honestly, and I'll save the best till last. The best will be saved till last. And someone needs to explain the best one, the last one to me, because I just don't get it at all. We used to have something called the up and under, where you kick the ball up, high up in the air, you get underneath it and you catch it. They now call it the bomb. I'll let that one go. That's the only one I'll let go. I don't mind that. I'll let that one go. They've now brought in from Australia, it all comes from Australia, D. They now talk about D all the time. D, for those that don't know it, is defence. Why they call it D when the word is defence, I don't get. But what really annoys me is the opposite to defence is attack. Attack hasn't got its own letter. They never call it A. It's never called A. They called defence D. They call attack attack. Where's A? It's not fair on attack. And we all like to say attack in rugby. I don't get that. So that's the first thing. What else is there? They talk about the arm wrestle. The arm wrestle. There's no arm wrestling in rugby. They don't wrestle arms. They don't get on the floor and do all of that. They play rugby against each other. There's no arm wrestling. They talk about game plans. It's in everything now. Oh, I think he's sticking to the game plan. Oh, he's not sticking to the game plan. What game plan? We don't know what the game plan is. We don't have a coach come on at the start of every game and say, right, this is the game plan today. This is what I've told my boys. And the other coach coming on saying, this is the game plan today. This is what I've told my boys. If they did that, the commentators would know if the players are sticking to the game plan or not, because the coach just told them. But the way it works in rugby and in all sports now, if a team's play well, they're sticking to the game plan. If they're not playing well, they're not sticking to the game plan. Or if they're winning, they're sticking to the game plan. If they're getting beat, they're not sticking to the game plan. How do the commentators and pundits know this? We don't know what the game plan is. No one's told us. That annoys me. The grunt. They mentioned that in rugby league. The grunt. I think they mean big men running forward. The grunt and power. The grunt? Where's all that come from? The grunt. I'm not having that. And here's the worst. I'm saving the worst till last, I told you. Started in rugby league this 10 or 15 years ago. And it came in and I thought, what's all that about? And now they do it in football as well. It started in rugby league though. I think it came from Australia. It always does. The foot race. They're having a foot race. Or it's a foot race. What the bloody hell is a foot race? What's a foot race? It's just a race. Unless you play wheelchair rugby league, and it is there, that's there now, don't get me wrong, and I'm not knocking anyone in a wheelchair. You play rugby league normally with 2 feet, on 2 legs, on a body with 2 arms normally. That's how you play it, and you stood on your feet and you run. It's a race between him and him, or her and her for women are playing. Or if it's mixed, him and her. I don't care who plays it, they've all got 2 feet. They run after one another. What's a foot race? You can't run on anything by your feet. If I'm chasing the ball on my feet, we're not going to have someone on his knees trying to catch me. It wouldn't be fair. He wouldn't catch me or in his arms. So we're all going to run. We're all going to use our feet. What is a foot race? It's just a race. Foot race. Where did that come from? They're having a foot race. It's a foot race between them. It's just a race. When they run the Olympics, the 100 metres, I've never heard them say Linford Christie's in a foot race or Usain Bolt's in a foot race. They're in a race. Of course they're on the feet. They've got 2 feet. They can't race any other way. Foot race. I'll get on to you about high fives and all that palaver and these things that people do with their fingers like that. They do 2 this side and 2 that side. I'm not going to do it. I've never done it in my life. High fives and that. Oh, there's loads of things I don't do. I don't like modern. I like what I've grown up with. Foot race. D. I feel very sorry for attack. Why has it not got its own letter? Why don't we call it A if we're calling defence D? Anyway, I've ranted on it. I tend to.